Salutations, it's Mr. Dube. Cut your losses. Not only should you cut your losses, you should cut them often and early, regardless of the amount of energy, time, and resources you invested into that project, that business, that organization, that individual, whatever the case may be. You need to cut your losses often and early. You're going to go through a point in your life, all of us do, where you invest a lot of time into an individual, invest a lot of time into a organization, a business, and then ultimately you find out in the end that either they're just using you or they're not going to be able to deliver what it is that they promised you. And in this case, you need to cut your losses and cut them early, especially in relationships. We've all been down that route. We've all seen it. You meet a person, you invest your time, you invest your resources, you invest your energy into this individual, and only to find out that they are not for you or they're just using you. And because you invested so much time into it, you refuse to see. When the red flags start popping up like mushrooms after a storm, you refuse to see all of that, and you're just hoping to see the good in that person because you've invested so much time. You're thinking, I spent so many months with this person, I've done this, I've done that, we've been there, we've created these memories and those memories, and you have this idea of the future that you'd want to have with this person, and you're neglecting to see what it is that you're working with in front of you. The person right there in front of you. You are failing to see what is in front of you, the reality that you face. And the longer you stay in that, the more harmful it is for yourself in many ways, which I won't go into now. But it's best just to cut your losses early. It's going to hurt, it's painful. We've all been there. You don't want to lose this person. You got into the habit of being with them. You got used to them. You got used to a routine. You got comfortable around this person. And now you have to basically let them go. And all that energy that you put into that, you feel like you just wasted your time and you don't want to let it go because you are holding on to an illusion, an idea of the future that can no longer exist. It's done. It does not exist. So cut your losses and move on. Move on from that relationship. Go invest your time and resources in something else that's going to build you up and make you feel better about yourself in order for you to move on and find someone else and not have to think of that individual. In business, you come into an organization, they sell you dreams, they tell you this is what's going to happen if you do this for us and that for us, and you give your heart and you give your soul. You give it your all. You give it your all in that institution or in that organization. Give them the best of yourself. And you're there 1 year, 2 year, giving it your all. Only to find out that they were using you. And once they no longer need you in that role, either they want to keep you there and what they were selling you is no longer going to come to pass because now they don't need you anymore and they're strong enough without you. They can now replace you because you've now set up the systems and you put up the systems in place or whatever your role is in that place. Now they don't no longer need you. They can just put somebody else there. The systems can continue. You no longer have of use to them. Even in that case, cut your losses. Don't allow yourself to be sold dreams further. Cut your losses, see the situation for what it is, and move on with your life. When you do move on with your life, it's pointless going out there for relationships and in the business sense and speaking negative about either the company or the person. It helps nobody. No one cares. You understand, we get it. Cool, it hurts. But nobody really cares. So don't go around, spreading false or even if it's true, whatever bad things you learned about the person, whatever bad things you learned about that business, keep them to yourself. It's called having honor. You don't take their secrets and you go tell everybody because now it's over and you're upset and you want to shame them. Cut your losses. In a good way, let them go. Cut your losses. Understand, okay, I got played. No matter who you are, you're going to get played in this game. You're going to get bamboozled at times, by better players. So accept that you got bamboozled, bro. You got played. Doubles. Accept it. And then move on with your life. But do not slander their name. cut your losses. Understand you invested it, you gave it your all. Cut your losses. Understand that I did a previous video I spoke about it, that your rewards will come from elsewhere. You just invest with a pure heart, pure intentions, give it your all, put in your time and your energy, and if it comes to pass, if what they're selling you they actually deliver, then alhamdulillah. But if they don't deliver and the dreams that they sold you do not come to pass, then alhamdulillah, because God will send it some other way. The universe, source, will send it some other way. But cut your losses and cut them early. Doesn't help to stick on to something. You started a project, wasted a lot of time, whatever it is, a small business, side business. You try something new, you went all the way. What was working in the beginning, you're getting customers in, it was working, it was feeding you. Then something happened in the market, a similar product came out at a cheaper price, something happened. Now the cash flow is slow, sales are no longer coming. It's either you need to find another product, change the system, or find a similar product to what's on the market, or you cut your losses early. You don't keep doing the same thing hoping that it's going to change because you've invested all this time, all this energy, you've done branding, you probably printed business cards, you've done all of these things, and now you feel like, I've got business cards, I've got branding, I've got all these things, I've got a website, I've got everything in place, I've done all this work, it's been paying me, I'm hoping it'll keep paying. Because there's a difference between quitting and cutting your losses. Because quitting means, okay, I'm just giving up. But now this is like, okay, I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to try to do something else in order so I can move forward with my life and not waste all my energy and time in something that's no longer serving me. Relationship, workplace, no longer serving you, you cut your losses early and often. Realize that you made a bad decision. Or you just got bamboozled. Accept that. It's part of the game. Doesn't make you less of a person. Does mean you're a little bit gullible at that point in time, but the only way to learn the script is by getting played or playing along, because you won't learn the script unless you play along. Okay, I've seen the script before, I'm not going to let this person bamboozle me because I've seen it before. But you cut your losses and you go on to the next journey and the next adventure so you can learn another script, another play, and say, okay, now I've gathered the experience. It's called experience. But you need to cut your losses early and often, or so slow you down, it'll leave you feeling miserable, it'll leave you feeling powerless because you're holding on to this thing, you're so attached to it. And the more you actually long for something, the more you desire something at that intensity, the more the universe will actually take it away from you. You chase it away with that energy. So let it go. Whatever's meant for you will come for you. Whether it's a person, an opportunity, a business, job that you are seeking, it will come. No matter how much energy, no matter how much time, no matter how much you feel that you've invested into that, you cut your losses. And don't slander those people. Don't go around saying negative things about them. It doesn't help. It just makes you look weak. Like, what do you want us to do? Like, want me to give you a hug, bro? I used to be one of those guys. I'm a human being, right? At some point, some people, like, I've never met a human being like that. So I had to go tell somebody, like, bro, I've never met a person like that. So I had to tell somebody about them. Because I was so, astonished. As a person can actually do that to another person. But don't go around slandering them. Let it go. People ask you about so and so, just didn't see eye to eye. We had different visions for the future, so we decided to go separate ways. The company had a different vision for the future for myself, then I had to find somewhere else. The culture of the company just wasn't gelling with me. That's why I left. Now, you don't have to go into the details and make the people look bad. Or make yourself look bad. Why did you quit? My business was struggling and this, and I couldn't. It wasn't working out, bro. Trying something else. Right? Cut your losses. Cut them often and cut them early.